Hey, buddy. I need you to listen very carefully to what I'm saying because there are lessons again and again throughout your whole life. And you gotta learn from these things, right?
Okay, well, here's a lesson to learn from. If you're going to rip off Martin Scorsese, for the love of God, don't do it by telling the same story. This channel usually covers politics, but last weekend I saw a film that was so disappointing that I have to talk about it, mostly in the hopes that you don't waste $10 on it like I did. I have nothing against Scorsese ripoffs. The man's a genius, and well worth copying. In fact, Johnny Depp was in a dramatically better Scorsese ripoff called Blow back in 2001. Go watch that. The problem with Black Mass is that it doesn't just rip off Scorsese's style, it actually tells a story he has already told. The Departed, from 2006, a glorious cartoon of a gangster movie, doesn't use the name Whitey Bulger, but it's transparently about the famous gangster and the corrupt FBI informant who helped him run Boston. The Departed is easily among Scorsese's 10 best films. It is very, very good. A retelling of this story couldn't be less necessary, but inexplicably, that's exactly what Black Mass sets out to do. Judging from the fact that the movie is super boring, the excuse may have been that the story deserved a more serious, realistic treatment. If that's the case, why in God's name does the film star Johnny Depp in fright makeup? The film actually starts out okay. That kid from Friday Night Lights has opted to go full inbred, and he does an excellent job. He's in a police interrogation room, and he starts recounting the tale of his criminal exploits with Whitey Bulger. Nothing new here, but it's fun. It is a movie I would have happily watched. Instead, we get the viewpoints of another two gang member narrators introduced. I honestly had trouble telling these two apart. This guy was occasionally useful as a reminder that we're all swiftly jogging towards the grave, but that didn't keep the film's narrative from being a disjointed mess. Multiple talking heads work well for documentaries, not gangster films. Another problem is the fact that there's nobody to care about. Every character in this film is either vile or sad, and none of them charmingly so. This is one of hundreds of things that The Departed does better. We've got a good cop to care about, and even the bad cop has an internal life we can identify with, mostly revealed through interaction with the main female character. Neither film passes the Bechdel test, but at least the bad cop's girlfriend in The Departed is a great character, whose presence enriches our understanding of good cop and bad cop. In Black Mass, the bad cop's wife shows up happy in the beginning, complaining about her changing man a few scenes later, gets abused by Johnny Depp, and then isn't even on screen for the scene representing the end of her marriage. Even by the low standards for female characters in gangster films, Black Mass does a shitty job. This film has got a tremendous wealth of wasted talent. In the only laugh-out-loud moment of the film, they've got Benedict Cumberbatch delivering a Boston accent.
You know what, John? It's good to see you doing so well.
I'm all for allowing actors to demonstrate range, but I'm sorry. If you're casting Sherlock Holmes as a straight-from-the-streets Boston politician, you've screwed up majorly. Compounding this error, the movie doesn't really give him anything to do. In the worst crime of all, the violence isn't all that interesting, and there isn't much that wasn't in the previews. The movie doesn't really end. This guy shows up, making me feel like I'm watching a really shitty episode of House of Cards. People get arrested, and the credits roll. This movie is garbage. Worse, it's boring. Yet everybody seems to be loving it, which is why I made this video. I feel a bit bad about being this harsh. Dozens of talented people must have worked really hard. The fault lies with the concept itself. It was a terrible idea from the get-go. If we let the nice people who made it off the hook, however, we risk losing more hours of our lives to crap like this. Let's send the executives who thought this project up back to the mailroom where they belong, and then move on with our lives. Thanks for watching. Please subscribe. And if you'd like to help me make more videos like this one, please click on the Patreon link here to find out how.